Hello, friends. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing fantastic today. This reading is going to be a quick one, 3 cards plus a oracle card on hopefully to help out with some anxiety issues that you might be dealing with. So tune into one of these cards here to decide which reading you want to listen to. If you're feeling pulled to listen to more than one, definitely do that. Sometimes you have some information in one reading which is pertaining to you, sometimes not the rest, and then maybe there's some more information in another reading for you. You just take what feels right to you and then leave the rest. And hopefully this will be of some help to you. So with that, go ahead and pause your video, tune into one of these cards, and choose your reading. And I will be back with reading number 1. Okay, back with reading number 1. If you chose this card, this is your reading. The card is called A Clockwork Pumpkin, A Wonderful Idea and the Aha Moment. So I will read this at the end of the reading to see, one, if it ties into the reading or if it's just a little extra advice for you. So we'll put that aside and we'll get started with the reading. Okay, so I've already shuffled and cleared my deck as usual, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay these out. This is number 1, the root of the anxiety, number 2. I'm going to have to move all this stuff out of the way, I think, here. Really don't do well with these vertical shots here. And number 2 is what you can do to lessen your anxiety. And then number 3 is how you can help your anxiety stay away. And I know anxiety is just something we all have to deal with from time to time. And sometimes it's just nice to have a little extra help with it. So let's see what these cards have to say. Let's see, are we in here? Might have to lift this up a little bit. Also, I forgot to mention I'll be using cards from the Halloween Tarot, which, given the time of year at the filming of this video, we're close to Halloween, feel it's appropriate, so I decided to pull these cards out to use them. And then the Oracle card is going to be from the Oracle of Shadows and Light, which I do use these often because I really like them. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so card number 1, what is the root of your anxiety? Okay, so here we have the Death card. This card does not come up that often in readings that I've done in the past little bit. And it's a card that people are often afraid of, but it doesn't obviously mean literal death. It's actually not that bad of a card. And especially when talking about the root of what your anxiety may be, this speaks to transition, change, things that are ending, things to let go of. So to me, as a root cause of your anxiety, there seems to be a fear of change, a fear of transition, maybe really being stuck in a place where you're repeating the same things over and over again, and you fear the change of something new. So if that rings true for you, go ahead and continue on with this reading. Now we'll be looking into card number 2. And this is going to highlight what you can do to lessen your anxiety. Okay, so what you can do to lessen your anxiety. Okay, this is interesting. So you have the 4 of Imps, which is also in a regular tarot deck would be the 4 of Wands. And this is quite a nice card, actually, because this talks all about community support, stability, things of that nature. So I feel like as far as helping lessen your anxiety, this will be something that you can do by reaching out to people, by, remembering that you have support by attending a community, being social, having social activities, and remembering that there are people out there that care about you and are here to support you. And you do have that stability that you are looking for, and that maybe you feel like you don't have, because this card kind of can talk to feeling unstable at times as far as change is concerned. Well, that's really all it's about, right? So this is just reminding you that you do have that support, you do have that stability, and you can kind of reaching out to people, looking around you, understanding that you have the support that's there, but you have to be the one to sort of ask for it. And just remember that you do belong, you do have the stability, people are around you, and they do care about you. So to lessen your anxiety, this is something that you can definitely look into, and don't forget, because I feel like it's something that's easily forgotten. You feel like we always, come into this anxiety moment, we feel like we're alone, the last person on earth, we're the only ones who feel like this, but that's not true. There are plenty of people who have these feelings, and plenty of people around you who are understanding and supportive of that. So yeah, all right, so we can move on to card number 3. Okay, so let's see what this card says. I love this. This is great for this reading. So we started with death and we're ending with the sun. And the sun is, as far as keeping your anxiety away, this is all about vitality, happiness, joy, optimism. So I really feel like, keeping a handle on your confidence, remembering that you've got people around you to support you, remembering you're not the only person on earth with this problem, and there are people out there to help you out. And just overall trying to keep your optimism and glass half full kind of mentality. This will help stave off the anxiety. Maybe when you start to feel it coming on, when you start to get these like kind of darker thoughts down here, just remember the sun is there, and you've got to keep, again, this has to come from you. It can't come from an outside source. You have some outside source here, but again, it's you who's got to be the one seeking it out. And so you have the sun here, and just remember that the optimism and the confidence and the happiness is obviously easier said than done. I know, I understand that, but just as a tool to help you, this is something that you need to remember to keep your thoughts in the positive, and keep yourself optimistic when things start to start looking rough. Don't allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole. Again, I know it's easier said than done, but this can be something that will help you, and this as well. So all right, so that was a quick, short and sweet kind of reading, but we've got the I'm just gonna lay these out like this. You can see them better, even though they're like this. Okay. I feel like I'll lay them out like that in the next reading, because that will just be a lot easier. Okay, so here we've got a clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, and the aha moment. So we'll see in the book what kind of advice is coming along with that. Okay, so this is kind of interesting as far as a tie into an anxiety reading, but this talks again about the aha moment. And this is like the moment of, okay, here's what it says in the book. I'll just read it. The moment of clarity, when the seeming chaos of life suddenly rearranges itself into a brilliant opportunity, and you are about to be presented with a golden idea. And I want you to be ready. It may come from within you, or it may come from an outside source, but you will have drawn it to you with the power of attraction and manifestation. So it's kind of interesting that this is saying that you're going to have this aha moment, and perhaps it could be pertaining to your anxiety, perhaps something else, or maybe it's more than one thing. but the moment of clarity for you will be coming soon. So be ready for that. And I feel like in manifesting kind of this idea of the clarity comes from the chaos, like remembering that you've got these people and support to reach out to and stability in your community and social ties or family or whatever it happens to be. That the clarity will come with that, with manifesting these types of energies in your life. So that's a really nice sentiment to have, and kind of ends on a really nice, happy, high note for you there. So I can really appreciate that. I hope you can too. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for this reading, and hope that you've enjoyed it and it's helped out in some minuscule way. And if you've got any questions or clarity on anything, please let me know in the comments. I read everything. Thank you in advance for any thumbs up. That's always appreciated and helpful. Any subscribe to the channel. That's always appreciated as well. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Okay, here we are for reading number 2. If this is the card that you chose, this is the Candy Cane Angel, and it says it's time for a treat. So this is something that, this is the card that we'll read at the end to either tie into the reading or just get a little extra advice from. I don't think I mentioned, but I am using the Oracle cards from the Shadows and Light deck. And I will be using appropriately for this time of year the Halloween Tarot for this reading. Okay, so here we have our 3-card reading, and it is going to be read 1, 2, and 3. This, let me make sure that's, do you have a hard time with these vertical ones? Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, calyx, all right. So this is the root cause of your anxiety. This is how to lessen your anxiety and what you can do to kind of stave it off or keep it away. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the root cause of your anxiety. Okay, so here we have the 5 of bats. The bats in a regular deck are going to be the swords. So this is the 5 of swords reversed, which is interesting because I kind of feel like this is going to be speaking to a more temporary kind of situation. Like, I don't know that this is something that's deep rooted at this moment, but this is something that seems to be causing anxiety, and it does talk to reconciliation or compromise or kind of cutting losses and moving on. So as far as like a root cause of the anxiety that may be going on for you right now, could be perhaps a friendship ending or a relationship ending, or like you're wanting it to end, but it's just not, it's not happening. It's like they're sort of stuck somewhere and you can't kind of get out of it. This is kind of the card that talks about wanting to move forward in a positive way, but there's something that's kind of holding it back. This card in the upright position is all about conflict and fighting, and then when it kind of turns over, it starts talking about moving forward. But with the reversal, there is that indication of being stopped or slowed. Like, I really feel like there's something stagnant here kind of keeping you from moving forward, and that's kind of causing you some dread, some anxiety, some fear. Perhaps maybe not wanting to let go could also be something associated with that. Maybe it's kind of time to move on, but you're not able to for whatever reason. Maybe a multiple reasons for not moving on, but it's kind of the right thing to do. So yeah, I feel like there's some stuck energy revolving around this root cause here, and I do feel like it's tied into another person and a relationship somehow. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and move on to card number 2, what you can do to lessen your anxiety. Okay, so number 2 here we have to lessen the anxiety. This is the Knight of Pumpkins, which the pumpkins correspond to the pentacles in a regular deck. So this is kind of an interesting thing because, again, I feel like this is within you to lessen your anxiety. And I feel like this is really because this card is all about, in the upright position, patience, focus, this slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. So I feel like this is saying, as far as how to lessen your anxiety, I feel like this is within you, that this is just going to be a slow moving kind of realization toward kind of inevitably whatever the resolution is going to be here with this other person or whatever this situation is. But there needs to, I feel like there needs to be a remembrance that you have it within you to kind of do what needs to be done. And this is something that's going to take some time, I feel like. And I don't know if this is going to be like an outside, I don't feel like outside source at all. I feel like this is within you, that you are committed and patient and you are working on the situation. It's just uncomfortable for the time being. So yeah, I feel like you will eventually achieve what you're looking to kind of resolve here. And it's just going to take some time. And just remember that you will get to where you want to go through your focus, through your commitment to your resolution, to your thought, when you feel the time is right. And this will help kind of make you feel better, maybe in the interim. So, okay, I'm going to move on to card number 3, which will talk about how to kind of stave off your anxiety, to keep it away. One more thing I wanted to mention with this card that sort of occurred to me just now. As I said before, the slow and steady wins the race. So I feel like in order to kind of get there and to stay, to keep your anxiety, at bay, or keep it, under wraps, I feel like kind of focusing on the end goal here for you is going to be something also important. Kind of focusing forward, also obviously living in the now, but focusing on what your end goal is, and sort of kind of manifesting it if you want, if that makes sense. So yeah, just another thought. Sometimes things pop up and you just got to say them. So yeah, all right, so now we will move on to card number 3. Okay, so to keep your anxiety at bay, to how to keep your anxiety away. And here we've pulled up the Justice card, which I find kind of interesting given what this card said, and this card too, because as I said, I felt like this was sort of like a sort of conflict with the person or people, or there's some sort of situation here which is bothering you, and you can't quite get the end result yet. It needs to come, but you're not there yet, and it's causing some problems for you emotionally or mentally. So this card is the Justice card, which I really love, because this is like the the ultimate like karma card, like consequence and accountability. So I feel like to keep it away, you can have, just remember, keep in mind that whoever has whatever coming to them, or whatever it is, like they will get theirs. The karma will, come around, and this, this will, you will get the justice that you are looking for. So as far as keeping it away, you can maybe hold tight in that thought that that what goes around comes around, and you may not be a witness to it, but I do feel like justice will be served for you. And I feel like you can just hold tight in that notion that that will happen, and that will help you sort of kind of keep that anxiety away. Okay, they're going to get what's coming to them, or whatever the situation may be. I don't know if it's, person related, or maybe it's, maybe a work situation or something that's just become unfair, whatever. whatever it is, once the problem is solved, or once it's sort of becoming resolved, or you're sort of manifesting that end result that you wanted, like we talked here, this will turn out nice and cheery, I feel like, for you. And you will have these, yes, that was, that great moment that, yeah, that the karma came around. So, okay, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully that made sense for you. I'm going to pull in the next card, which is the Candy Cane Angel. It's time for a treat, and we'll see what her card is all about, and how either it ties into this reading or is just going to offer a little bit of extra advice for you. So I guess, as you can imagine with this card, as it says it's time for a treat, this is saying that it's definitely time to reward yourself for whatever that you've worked hard enough and long enough to allow yourself a reward. So I do kind of feel like it's coming back to this card, saying that it's going to take time, and you put in the work to manifest what you're looking for. But the hard work is will pay off, and you do deserve to allow yourself a reward. Let's see. Yeah, anything really that it says don't put it off. It says I don't deserve this, whatever you may be telling yourself. I'm way too busy for that indulgence, or I don't deserve it. It says, let's decide that you do. I'm about to have my treat, and I charge you with the same quest. Give yourself what you have been denying yourself. You do deserve it. So if there's something you've been putting off doing, perhaps you're waiting for this situation. I don't know that it ties in so much here. It might just be a little extra if there's something else going on kind of on the side of that. If there's some indulgence you've been putting off, it's saying, this card is saying that you should partake in that indulgence, that you did put in the hard work, that you did make the effort, that you do deserve to treat yourself from time to time. So hopefully you can take something from that. Yeah, again, not entirely sure that it could be something. Maybe this has been really, really rough on you mentally, whatever is going on, and you are putting in the work that it requires as far as a tie-in. If it's something completely on the side of that, that's perfectly legitimate as well. So whatever it is that you've been putting off, allowing yourself to have, this card is saying, go for it. Give yourself that little indulgence or reward that you've been putting off. Now is the time. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to move on to reading number 3. Thank you in advance for your thumbs up. I really appreciate it, or subscribing. That's also wonderful. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please do drop them in the comment section. I read everything. And okay, I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Okay, here we are for reading number 3. If you chose this card, this is the Dried Flower Fairy, and it says Sweet Memories. So we will look into that after this reading to see whatever the extra message is there. This is our 3-card reading for anti-anxiety. This is the root cause of the anxiety. This is what you can do to lessen your anxiety, and this is how you can keep it away. Let's see. There all the way. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's get started with card number 1. This is the root cause. Okay, so the root cause, here we go. 9 of Ghosts, which the ghosts correspond to cups in a regular tarot deck. And this is actually quite a nice card, but interestingly enough, when speaking into a root problem of anxiety, like this card is talking about all your wishes coming true, being happy in achieving goals and things like this. So I kind of feel like, as far as as far as a root problem, it's almost kind of, to me, feels like you're worried about not kind of achieving all of those things, like whatever you've a goal, like you're almost scared to put goals out for yourself because you're worried that you're not going to achieve them. That causes you anxiety. Perhaps things are going too well, you feel like, when's the other shoe going to drop? Like it's almost kind of like an overthinking kind of thing for me, in my opinion, as far as this card is telling me. Like any kind of achievements or success that you have, it's almost like, okay, when is the bad thing going to happen? And I feel like this is just something that is maybe just kind of a pattern with you, like you're not appreciating, or not appreciating. That's not true. I do feel like it is not an appreciation kind of thing, but you're just so, you become worried when good things happen because you feel like it means something bad is going to happen, and which is not entirely true. You can have good things happen, bad things happen too, to all of us. It's the yin and yang of life, but you know, you have to appreciate and be content when things are going well, and be I have somebody close to me who does this, so this is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's always like, oh, something good happens, that means something bad is going to happen. But I do feel like this is kind of a classic thing, and I do feel like there are a lot of people who do kind of have this feeling about it, and we have to remember that that's not the case. Like, we do have bad things that happen, and we have good things that happen, and just because something good happens doesn't mean something bad's going to happen. Yeah, so this is kind of how I feel about this card. So hopefully that makes sense for you, and it kind of hits home for you, because then we can move on and see how to lessen your anxiety, what you can do to sort of lessen it when it starts flaring up. And all right, so let's move on. Okay, so let's see what this card says. Well, okay, so this is interesting because this card does not come up very often in readings, but I feel like it's really like a heavy, sorry if I'm shaking this, it's super stable. Yeah, it's kind of a heavy energy card for me. Like it's not something that comes up often, but to me, this card is saying, in the upright position, it doesn't really talk to a whole lot. It talks a lot about toxicity and being kind of chained to bad patterns and things like that. But in the reversal, this talks about letting go, getting rid of those notions. And I kind of feel like it's talking to whatever, if you're sort of stuck in this way of thinking that, you know, something good happens and something, you know, extra bad's going to happen. Like, it's hard to kind of celebrate your success when you're just worried for the next, you know, bad thing that's going to happen. And I feel like this card is saying to lessen that, you need to kind of break free of that pattern or thought process, which obviously can be quite hard to do. Definitely achievable, but can be done. Tough to do, but can be done. Yeah, I feel like this kind of like is coming back to this card saying that this is a way of thinking that needs to be dealt with, obviously. Yeah, and we need to let go of these kind of patterns and move forward. This card also talks about being free, reclaiming control, which makes perfect sense in my mind as far as this card is concerned. You know, don't let those thoughts overtake you, overpower you. You've got to take control, and that will start to make you feel better. You will start to remember that you are the one that's got control of the situation. Don't allow these patterns of thinking to cloud your judgment, or, you know, make you not fully appreciate or be happy with, you know, the good things that are happening to you, because they do seem by this card that there are, you know, good things that are going on for you, but you're just not able to be happy about it. And it's not something completely uncommon, and it's not that you don't allow yourself a little bit of happiness, but there's always that thought in the back that's saying, yeah, what's coming next? So this needs to be released, I feel like, and this is reclaiming your independence, reclaiming your freedom. So I don't feel like this is something that's always been happening for you. I feel like it's maybe a more, maybe more recent development for you. But to help you feel better, you've got to release these patterns. So, all right, so moving on to card number 3, how to keep your anxiety away. Okay, so keeping your anxiety away. We've got the 6 of Bats, which is the suit of swords. The bats with the suit of swords in a regular tarot deck. And this is really interesting because this talks about, as far as keeping your anxiety away, this card is talking about moving on, leaving, accepting the lessons, and putting distance between you and whatever it is that is bothering you. So, which seems completely logical in my mind, that you would want to put distance and turn your back on whatever this this thought process is. But to keep it away, this I feel like this card is just like totally obvious. you just gotta move forward, accept, that it's not a healthy way to think, and do what you can to move through that and accept that for what it is, and take back your control of these thoughts that may be rambling, making you not feel well. And then when that kind of starts, you got to say, no, okay, that's done. I've got to change the way I'm thinking. And now I'm moving forward and away from this. I know it's not easy. I understand that very much. It's just a tool. It's just a thought to move forward, for you, to help you move forward, if it makes sense for you. If you can take sort of the advice of that. It just seems something so small and like silly. Yes, of course, you want to logically not think like that anymore and to just move away. But that is eventually what will keep it away, is getting rid of these thought processes. And it just reinforces this card for me that much more. So, and it, obviously a small thing to say as far as a card is concerned, but obviously a probably larger thing to actually accomplish. Like, it's really hard to change our thinking patterns. That I completely understand. I'm just saying these cards are saying how to move forward, how to move on, and kind of deal with that. There are ways, there are people to talk to and that kind of thing. So maybe reach out to your friends or family, or, to kind of keep your mind occupied when this happens, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just supposed to be a small idea of what can possibly help you move forward and keep the anxiety away. And I'm sure it's probably something you've thought about before as well. Like, duh. Yeah, I know, easier said than done. But we asked the cards what you can do, and this is the answer that they gave. So, all right. So hopefully that is has made sense for you, and has helped in some minuscule way to maybe kind of shed some light on the issue at hand, and maybe see things in a different way. Sometimes when we just see a problem from a different perspective, it can help us sort of break through. So that's sort of what tarot is for me. Seeing things just from a different perspective, and hopefully you can appreciate that as well. So now I'm going to bring in our dried flower fairy card and see what advice she has for us. Okay, so this is interesting. As far as a tie-in, I think I mentioned that this was a more recent development, as I sort of get that feeling. Doesn't mean it's true for you. This is just my feeling. But this talks about sort of tapping into happy memories, like something that was very meaningful to you. That was something that was a great feeling, something that was happy, and some also in ways that you've also helped somebody else as well. Like, because it says, You have so many jewels as far as memories. It's time to sift through the precious memories, precious moments in memory by honoring these and feeling them again. Change the present for the better. The magic of your sweetest memories will be worked into the present moment, and your current struggle will be momentarily relieved. So that does tie in nicely here to say that when you're not feeling great, when you're feeling like, you know, bad things are going to happen for X, Y, and Z. This great thing happened to me, or maybe just, you know, things are just status quo. Tap into those old happy memories, remembering that, you know, good things can happen, good things do happen, and they do happen to me. And I also impart myself on other people, and I try, that didn't sound right. I give of myself to other people and try to make them feel good as well. So it's also a give and take. When you give something good, you get something back. So you can think of it like that. Not that something good happened, now something bad's going to happen. But remember the time where you were doing something nice for somebody else, and then you also have this wonderful memory of you know, somebody doing something nice for you, or just being with, you know, loved ones, or and it says that transcendent feeling of being one with all that is will return, giving you the strength to go on and do what must be done. So I really, really like that card for this reading. I really feel like it's saying just to remember to tap into those good feelings and remember good things do happen, and you are doing well, doing good for others as well. And this is what, you know, the give and take sort of is, not good versus bad, but, you know, giving and then getting back what you put out. So it's important to remember to put out those good things, and not saying that bad things are not going to always happen, because, you know, they do, but the more goodness you put in, the more goodness you get back. So I really like that lesson for this reading. I really feel like it does tie in quite nicely, and is an extra little bit of nice advice. So hopefully you can appreciate that. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for this reading. And I thank you so much for listening, and hope it's been of some help for you, giving you something to kind of maybe think about, ponder, what have you. But I'm going to end it here, and thank you in advance for any thumbs up. That's always helpful and appreciated, or subscribing. That's very appreciated as well. And if you've got any questions or comments, please do drop them in the comment section. I read everything. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.